Well, hey there. Welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, today, as I had explained on other groups as far as Facebook, pawpaw enthusiasts, I'm going to show you how to get this out as a consumer the easiest way from these bags. The bags themselves on the inside is kind of like the felt. The roots will grow into them and they get tangled in there as far as attaching onto that felt. And I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this bag to be able to show you as a consumer, the average backyard grower, how to get these out of the bag. This tree has grown tremendously. It's only a 2-year-old seedling, but man, we got a ½ inch of caliper going on in the rootstock. I wasn't planning on upgrading this, but I'm pretty excited about what I see, and I want to see what the root structure down here looks like. We're going to go from a 3-gallon bag to a 7-gallon bag, and then it's going to be tucked back into the greenhouse and given the opportunity to grow even more. It's an IXL. It was grafted in April of this year, April 4th to be exact. And I'm really excited with what I see. We still have some tender green up here, which indicates it has the ability to grow even more. And we're pushing close to the end of, the middle of August. So let's get this started. First off, I'm going to lay the tree on its side, just like that. And we're going to cut the bottom of this bag out. And I'm going to utilize a utility knife, which I did change the blade the other day, so it should be sharp enough to deal with what it is we're going to deal with. But I'm going to come above the seam, and I'm going to cut around the bottom of the bag. I normally don't do it this way, but for your benefit to understand how to get it out of the bag, for me is important because I sell a lot of these inside these bags. And we're losing dirt at the bottom, which is to be expected. I'm going to gently turn it. And there we have it. A little piece of the taproot was attached. Now I'm going to look it over, and I'm going to go up here to where the seam of the bag is. The bag is no longer useful for me, but we're going to see what can happen. Now I'm not going to go to the top because it'll pinch and try to pull. I'm going to go down here roughly around soil level, and I'm going to slice that bag. And I'm going to turn my blade around and slice the other direction. I'm going to open up, take a little sneak peek. Yeah, we got some good root fiber in there. I'm not going to remove the bag. Well, I guess I could. I don't think it would hurt anything. But let's go ahead and peel this back. Now the medium is not super dry, but somewhat dry. It's not wet. If that would have been wet medium, it would have fell to the bottom. So we got some good medium here, and I hope that you can see it from what I have in front of me. We have a lot of root fiber around that root ball, and you can see that the root ball is holding together nicely. And that's because, like I said, the medium, number one, is a little bit dry. Number two, your root mass is holding soil in its place. So I'm going to gently pick it up like so, I bring it over here to a 7-gallon bag that I've already got set up. And you see me holding it by the rootstock. Lowered it into the bag, and the bag had already been pre-filled at the bottom with soil. So we're at the right depth. I have a little bit of root at the very top, but that's not going to hurt anything, because when I water that in, it's going to end up pulling dirt down into the bottom of the bag. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to backfill around the outer edge of the bag. The tree is set in the center of the bag. The 4-inch rule. We have a little more than 2-inch clearance between the walls of the root ball and the walls of the bag. I'm not going to add mycorrhiza like you've seen me do time and time again, because within that root ball we have mycorrhiza. What has been exposed to the air will actually kill the mycorrhiza, but the mycorrhiza that's within that root ball is still there, and it'll begin to push outwards. And man, that went in there real nice. Let me grab something here that I'm going to normally use. A small 2x4. In between the root ball and the bag, I'm going to push that soil tight to get rid of the wrinkles of that bag. Now when you're planting in the field, this is not necessary, because water can be used to cause the soil to compact down. And I planted a few of these in the property, taking them out of the bag, but I used a different technique of getting the soil, or getting the bag, the tree, I'm sorry, out of the bag. And what I'm going to do is just keep working my way around, and I'm pushing the soil down around the outer edge of the bag to get rid of the wrinkles. Man, we got a lot of root mass there, and I am very happy with what I see. Now what I'm doing is not hurting the roots whatsoever, and you can see it's in there pretty much center. I'm going to set that down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more soil, and I can add it to the top. I don't have to fuss with it as much. These feed scoops work out great whenever you're using a lot of soils like I am. Now I'm just going to move it around a little bit. Now, mind you, the soil itself has been treated with biocarbon in the way of leaf mulch. And it's also been treated with biochar. And it's mixed into the soil. The biochar had been charged up with a kelp type fertilizer, which it's something that gives the tree more nutrients. The mycorrhizas will begin to grow outward, and it'll come across those nutrients and begin feeding the tree. Now something else that I did this year is that I started using another product to help my trees. And Osmocote. It's a very slow release fertilizer. It'll feed with what I got here up to 7 months. I kind of raked the dirt around and created a small trench. And a tree this size, It's able to handle probably 3 tablespoons. Beautiful, beautiful tree. Now let's cover that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake the bag, and it causes the osmocote to sift throughout the soil. Now that I got the osmocote in there, I'm going to give it another layer of soil to cover up the osmocote, because over a period of time it'll cause mold to grow on top. And there you have it. The tree has been successfully transplanted. Now all I have to do is take it over here and water it in. And once I water it in, the soils will start to pack down around the root system, and the roots will be able to reach out into the soil, start picking up nutrients, and cause this tree to flourish. Man, that's a beautiful tree. And then afterwards, once the soil has packed down, I'm going to layer the whole top of it with a leaf compost. That way, whenever it does get watered, it's going to have somewhat of a tea added to it, compost tea. And like I said, we have compost in the soil as far as the biocarbon. We have biochar, we have osmocote, which I just recently started using, and then we'll have a compost tea that will leach down into the bag whenever I water the tree. Anyways, let me get this over to the side on the other side of that camera and get it watered in and get prepared to add the leaf compost. Just to show you, the leaf compost is really composted down, and you can see it's black. Oh man, that is black gold. And I tell you what, it's very, very fine. It's almost like a dust or a sand, more like a sand. And that will reach down into the bag. When it was taken out of the bag to be used, it was in clumps, and I broke the clumps up. That tells me the microorganisms are in there. So we're going to go ahead and get this taken care of. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I'm welcome. Beautiful tree. Y'all have a God-blessed day.